Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I hope you are all good. Today, right now I am in the boat and I am in uh, we are parked. I don't know how to say it in the boat thing language, but I am parked in the port of Esna. So maybe if you listen some noises, city noises, is because we are right by the city. Um, uh, so it's not dark here, but I don't know why you see me like in darkness. I cannot find the right light yet. So that's so so just one point that I wanted to say about yesterday when we were speaking about education, and I forgot to say about this, is that we are here learning, in a process of learning and teaching, and because of this, we have two ways of doing this process of understanding. One is education, and the other one is teaching. Both of them are good if we are working in the consciousness, because teaching is to showing you things, and education is to allowing you to look the answers by yourself. So both of them are good. The problem with the teachings today in education is that they usually say this is the truth and you have to learn about it. So what we are trying to do here is to teach, because I'm teaching things, I'm sharing things with you, and to educate in order, in the moment when I say, now you look to your own answers and do your own things. Because to teach from the unconsciousness would be me saying, this, what I am saying is the truth, and that's the only truth. And from the consciousness would be, this is my truth, and with this that I share, do whatever we want. Okay, so that would be the different ways of teaching and education, which are not bad or good, as always. Is dependent on how we share, on from where do we do it. So once said this, we go today to our topic, which is economy related to the heart chakra. Okay, so let's begin with this concept of economy. We humans usually think that the heart is something related with the spiritual, but it's not exactly like this, even though the heart is spiritual. The spiritual key of the heart is giving and receiving. Okay, so from that point of view, the heart is the one that gives and receives the resources that we have in our body, which is the circulatory system, sharing the blood to every organ, sharing the blood to every muscle. It helps the body to work. So that's why the spiritual economy is to try to have balance, distributing these resources throughout the whole body that we call home. So that's the origin of the name economy. Economy comes from the Greek oikos, that means home, house, and nomos, that means distribution. So this is the administration of the home. So we will try to see this economy concept from 2 points of views. The one is the energetical one, and the other one is the physical one. So we will go to the physical one because it's the one that we understand the most. So once again, we have this physical aspect that we'll also divide into. One of them will be the biological organism, the organic and biological aspect, and the other one will be the biological cultural aspect of the economy. So these two concepts are the ones that will help us to understand the economy according to our human concepts. So let's go first into the biological organic concept of economy. As I said before, we have the example for this in the heart. So the heart for us is like this organ that stimulates the distribution of the blood. The blood is created in the bones, and then from the bones it started to move through the veins and the arteries through the heart. So the heart is pushing the blood all around the body in the circulatory system. Everything in nature needs to be distributed. So it needs to move around constantly, okay? All the things around. So every organ knows when needs something. Every organ administrates its own use of blood according to the day and the action that is taken. For example, the stomach, the intestines, when you eat every day, they need to rest. They need to work. So they need a lot of blood to make the work going on. So that's why the rest of the body, the blood that usually is in the head and other parts of the body, they all go to the intestines and the stomach to work in the digestive system. But once the digestion ends, all that blood starts to distribute again along the body. Also happens in the sexual relationship when you have all the blood in your genitals, okay? And then again, when you release, it starts to spread all over again. So the key of the organic economy is that every organ is sharing the resources whenever they need it, not because they expect to have it all for themselves. So there's no organ that wants to have naturally the whole blood, okay? Naturally, the body is distributing, helping to circulate this blood all around the body. So the key for this system is circulatory. That is the key of the natural economics. And for the mind, it's a little bit different. So let's go into that. In the other path of the evolution, we have the cultural biology. The cultural biology is talking about our history as humanity. So from the first moment that we started to be these humans that expanded into the world and started to understand the reality from the point of view of cultures, from the point of view of civilizations, everything that we have created was only for three things. The same three things that we all share in the animal kingdoms, which is to eat, to reproduce, and to sleep. Those are the only three things that all of us in all the animal kingdom and everything that we as humans have created, it was about. Only three things. The difference of us as a species, besides all the rest of the animals in the animal kingdom, is that we evolve through consciousness, through intelligence, through imagination, using our mind. So because of this, we created this species that we call humans. And that's the only difference. But the rest of it is just three things. Just eating, reproducing, and sleep. We just evolved in our minds to solve these three problems. So remember, we as humans develop these systems through the mind to try to solve these three main problems that nature has for all of us. And the way we do it is by being in herds. We work all together as groups, we share one another, and we create these links, emotional links to hold us together. We start to create the religions, the cultures, all the different concepts that we already spoke about, but everything because we needed to eat. We needed to survive by sharing food. So this concept of sharing food is to distribute what we have hunt, what we have harvest and recollected in the trees, to share it with the members of the family. Where? In a cave, in a home. So here comes the first concept of economy, which is to distribute what we have accomplished, to get. And then when we start to be sedentary as a civilization, we also administrate the rest that we had after we ate. Why? Because we need to survive the winter or the drought, okay, depending on the part of the planet where you live. So we took all that and we started to administrate this food so we could survive the winter. So here comes the moment when once we have the food, we need to solve the other conflict, which is to sleep. And to sleep is to be safe, to feel that we can rest. Sleep is not something easy. For us today, maybe it's easy because we have house. But in that moment, to sleep was one of the most difficult things. We needed to sleep in order to get energy, okay? We need to sleep to do that. But in that moment, anything could kill you. So someone must protect you from everything. And who is the one that would protect you? The strongest one, the one that has strength. So that one is the most valuable person. That's why in European languages, to those people that were hunting, that were recollecting, that had strength to protect the herd, was called the wal. Wal means value. Wal is the origin of the word value, but the meaning is strength, force. So the one that is strong is the person that has value. So this is how we started to create the concept of the value of things, the value of getting something. Something has a value because someone did something with strength to get that. Okay? This way is how we start to see how the system creates a scale of values. So we have the next level, which is once we accomplish to have the sleeping and the eating, sometimes we will have a lot of things, but we will be in a lack of another things. So we need to start to share with other people. So in this exchange, we create this new system of economy, which is exchange with other families. And here comes when we solve the reproduction, and which is the transcendence of the family. reproduction and production, which is, remember a few days ago we spoke about the person that sell vegetables and the butcher. So both of them, with the son, with the daughter, they got together, and with the baby they united the whole family. Well, those people, in order to get to that, they needed to exchange, to share wealth, to share things. That's the exchange. So what happened when these two families get together and more families starts to get together, they create a civilization. So this civilization starts to grow and grow and grow. So what happened with this civilization? That suddenly we have everything that we need. We don't have a lack of anything because we are all family, we share everything that we have. But what happens if we need something different, but the other person says, no, I cannot exchange anything else with you because I have everything. So if you want to change something that I already had, so what's the point? So here comes the moment in which someone really clever said, what if this weight that we were sharing of the things, because the way in which we shared things, it was through the weight of the things. So what if we take the weight of something that we cannot eat and we cannot use for anything else than just exchanging? So they took the minerals from the mountains and they said, okay, now we have something that we can exchange with no need to give wealth from our farms. And that's how money has been created, the coins. So we started to exchange many minerals, the gold, bronze, silver, diamonds, everything. But most of all, the salt. Why the salt? Because salt was useful for everything. Salt was so important for the food, to heal, the medicine, for the wounds, for storing meals. Salt was good for many things. So that's why in the first moment they exchanged salt as a way of payment, because it was used for everyone, it was useful for everyone. And that's why they started to call the payment to the people like salary that comes from salt. That's why the salt was so useful. So now let's understand this, that remember that the salary was something really valuable because everyone used it, so it was good. But they saw that it was very common and easy to get. And this is why they said they started to look for minerals that were more difficult to get, like gold, like silver. And why these things has much value is not because the thing has value by itself. That's in our minds. The value of things, as I was saying, this doesn't have any value. This is just a paper. Value is strength, is force. So remember this: force, strength, value is what you have to work the hardest to get. And to get gold and silver is very difficult. So a lot of people had to work really hard to get the gold and the silver. This is why the gold and the silver has so much value. Because in the ancient times, you had to work very hard to get it. Okay? So that's why we give value to the things. It's not the things itself, it's how hard it is to get it. So this doesn't have value. This has the value of what I did in order to get it. Hmm? Hmm? So this is how all the systems of creating coins, money, expand um, expand through the world. Not because this has a value, but because this represents value, represents the value of the things that we do. So we are still in the cultural biology. So now pay attention to this. In the ancient times, they said, who has much more power and strength in the creation? No human at all. That one that has the power is the people from the heavens, is the people from the sky, God. So that person, that divine, is the one that has the real power. So that's why the priests and the kings and queens and priestesses were the ones that had to have much more gold and much more silver because they had the power. Okay? You understand where I go? It's because the strongest one has much more value. And the value is God. So this creates a pyramidal structure of money, okay, of the gold and the silver, that says the power is in those who are in the top: the king, the priest. The king, the priest, the king, the one that is on the top of the pyramid, is the one that rules, that reign, that has the kingdom by the right of God. Okay, so the so this is the origin, for example, of the word realm, realm, which in ancient languages from the north of Europe was called the Reich. Reich is the one that has the right, which in Spanish is, which in Latin is reg, which is to rule, okay? And in Nordic languages, Reich, the one that has the power, okay? And that's the origin of the word rich. So the people that is rich, the people that is rich are the ones that has the power of God, like the king. Is not the one that has the money. Okay, so talking about the divine, and how the system was created through the power of God. Through the power of God. What we have created through the story, through the history, is the idea that the one that has the power is rich, because we created this idea that the rich people has the gold, has the silver, because we were in the grounds, working in the farms, working in the fields, with agriculture, and for us, for the common people, the money, speaking about the minerals, were the ones that has the value. But remember, the value was not in the money, was in the power, on the strength of doing the things. So the rich people were never looking for money the rich people look for power. Okay? So remember, these things doesn't have power. These things come with power. So if you lose your power, you don't have this. That's why the rich people represent power, not money. Remember this, that for us, the common people, we believe that this has the power, that the money has the power, but money has no power. We believe that money is the one that creates corruption in people. Money is not corrupting people. It's the power, which is an illusion, that corrupts people. It's not the money. So now I will speak for the people that says that money is the one that corrupts, that money is wrong, and I hope money ends. So let's just make this example. We have money, and someday we all say, let's get rid of the money and just throw it away. Oh, we are free. We don't have any more money, so we are free from the corruption and all the things. So now we have to exchange forks. How many of you want a fork? So now you say, if you don't have a fork, you won't be able to eat, because the only way you can eat is with a fork. So whoever has a fork is the best. So money is not the guilty of our incapacity as humans. It's not the one to blame for our incoherence. What is the real conflict here is power. What is power? Is rectitude. Is to be in the center. Is to be coherent with yourself. Is to know who you are and to know what you have. If you know what you have, you don't need anything outside. But if you don't know who you are and you don't know what you have within, you will look for things outside until you try to reach who you maybe are. Whoever has 200 is rich. Whoever has 10 is poor. Let's try to get into what is poor and what is rich in order to understand one of the greatest traps, I don't know how to say it, of the current world. So what is rich? Rich is the one that has the power because it's commanded by the higher power of the divine. Someone that is rich doesn't need money because has power. Before making some opinion, just wait for the whole explanation, please. Rich is the one that is aligned with its own power and it's aligned with the divine. Poor comes from the etymology pauper in Latin, that means with a lack of fertility. So someone that has not power. Okay. These are the two original concepts of the word rich and poor. We used to say that the poor people is unfertile, that has a lack of fertility because they were working in the fields. So whoever doesn't grow anything in the fields, they are unfertile. Okay, or maybe they didn't work for this, so they don't have fruits. The rich was considered the one that was aligned with the divine task. So when the civilization starts to grow and go on, there are some poors that get a lot of money, but the program still is poor. So they are poor in soul, but they have lots of money, the new rich. And others that still are rich, but has less than these ones. So what happened with this new rich and the other one that was rich before? That this one starts to look for more because it has a lack of power, of inner power. So it wants more and more. So what it does is to say, hey, don't worry if you have a lack of something. I will share with you. I will give you something. But then you will have to give it to me back at the end of the year. That's the first debt. So this is how they start to get a false power, and these ones start to consider themselves poor. So here comes the origin of the ones that give loans to people, like a bank, that store resources to share and to charge for it, to hold it. But remember, who were these ones? Were the poor people that started to accumulate more and more, and they wanted more and more. So what happened with this system? That these new rich people start to create the idea that money is bad. That if someone needs something, you just have to ask for it and I will give it to you. The church, the state, they start to give to the poor, and they said, hey, it's good to be poor. You just ask whatever you need and we are in service. Money is not good. Money is devil. We are in service. So by this, the system starts to take the power to the poor people, making it poor and poor from the soul. So the concept here is not to help the poor people, is to give to the poor people whatever they want so you can keep them poor from the soul, so they don't get the development of the self. And we hold a system of dependence, looking for much more power. We are not here to try to blame anyone, neither one president, neither anyone, a group of all people in some other countries or organization, whatever. We are not here to blame anyone because of this. We are here to take responsibility, to understand that in the process of history, we, the people, give our power back away, sorry, we give our power away to others. Our responsibility is not to fight against those old people. Our responsibility is to get our power back from inside first, to come back to be rich of soul. Remember, economy was created at home. Economy means the administration of the heart of home. We are not going to be able to heal the economy system of the world if we first don't realize about our inner economy in giving and receiving. All the economy systems of today are related to delivering the power to others. So now we start with the other one, with the other branch, which is the emotional. Why we lose the power of the economical system? Because we start to do it losing the power of our own heart. We give our power to those who we love, to someone in the family, to someone in the school, to a partner in a relationship. We give our power to others. So it will be impossible for us to administrate our physical resources if we are not even ready to administrate our own emotional resources. So now remember, we have an emotional cultural economy, and in the other side we have an emotional service economy. So in the cultural emotional economy, we have to ask ourselves, how am I giving and receiving? Am I giving a lot? Am I receiving too much? I am controlling someone who I am giving the power to. You have to ask all these questions here. And then we have the emotional service economy, which is all of those that has a gift inside that they have to share with the others. So in this emotional economy of service, the question would be, am I giving my gift to others, sharing my gift with others, or am I expecting something to come to me in order to give it? Because sometimes we wait for something for us to do it. But in order for everything to move, to flow, we need to give, to share. Here comes the concept of abundance. Abundance is when everything that I have within, I share it with everyone outside, so everything will come to me again. Abundance is not the ability to have things. Abundance is the ability to administrate all you have within. And now to wrap the idea, the great question of all of us. If you work with spirituality, why you charge for it? So where comes this concept of you should not charge if you are spiritual? It comes from the church. Remember, we said it before. It comes from the idea that those who come from the spiritual world must be in service. must be servants of God. That's why this here is from the devil, because this is for this planet, for this world. So if you are working for the spiritual world, you win the heaven, not this world of the devil. So you should not charge for your service because you are spiritual. This is the concept of the Christian church in the Middle Ages to ensure that nobody would become rich. Okay? So, what is the answer to this? Why you charge? Well, we are spirits that decided to be on this planet. And in this planet, we are humans. And as human, I have a body. And what was the trinity of the body? I have to sleep, I have to eat, and I have to reproduce or produce. If I don't eat properly, I'm not being able to survive. If I don't sleep relaxed, I'm not able to think and to give. If I cannot produce or reproduce, I am not transcending. And even if I am in another world with my mind, I am in a physical one in the matter. If I don't take care of the physical aspect, how can I be in service? So, remember, spiritual service has no value. Spiritual service has no value at all. What has value? The time that I need to survive and do my service. So you are never charging for your service. You are charging for the time that you need to survive in order to do your service. Okay? So remember, for some people, the value would be $1. For some people, the value would be $1,000. What gives the value? A group of thinkings, a need. A need is what creates the value of the things. Nothing has value by itself. We give the value to the things. So remember, what is economy? To come back to home and to order what we have within. And once we order our economy, we expand this economy outside as the circulatory system. The economy is in the heart. The vibration for today is 3. The statement for today is I am the essence of love. The code for today is calcium. This chemical element conforms one of the structural parts of creation of a great proportion of the biomass. It is the 5th element of the earth in quantity, and it's joined to diverse other elements and minerals on an ionized form. Abundant in oceans, was the base of the first vertebrates. For the unification and densification of this element not only constitutes part of the RNA, but also the skeletal system. Let's go to the alignment. Sit comfortable, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and start to caress and massage softly all your body from the feet to the head. I recognize this body, and I remember that my spirit and soul decided to create this body in order to be able to experience its ideas and emotions. I recognize everything that I have within me, all the tools, the resources, the gifts. And I recognize that all of this is what I have to acknowledge who I am. And the only way I will do this is by sharing what I have, by exchanging what I have with others. I recognize that at the same moment I open myself to give, I am opening myself to receive. Take a deep breath, exhale. I think of my body as a house, and within this house I find a mother called soul and a father called spirit, and both of them are the ones administrating the resources of my body. I become aware that the only way in which I can be abundant in the resources and use the resources of my body is if I find balance in between this father and this mother. Is by the coherence of my inner self that I find the abundance of the resources that I have. And the main force, the main resource that I need in order to create is based in the eternity that I call love. I take this infertile terrain, this poor land within me, and I water it with the rain of consciousness. of the rich spirit. I imagine how the spirit is pouring this water of consciousness to the dry land of my body, helping to rise the flowers of the essence, the love of my soul. And I activate it with my singing. I am the essence of love. I am the essence of love. I am the essence of love. I am the home. I am the order of my own resources. I am economy. From my heart, I expand my own abundance. So by resonance, I receive the same abundance. Take a deep breath and take this consciousness all over your body, expanding this consciousness to each part of it. And each one at its own time, come back here and now. Thank you everybody for being there as always, and see you tomorrow at the same time.